Oh, frozen webcam right off the bat. All right. Well, we'll try to get that fixed.
Oh, technology.
Yep, technology. That hasn't happened in ages. I thought I solved that problem.
Well, I agree.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to Winds of Earrenia, our ongoing Dungeons & Dragons campaign here on Bold Wolf Gaming. Before we get into tonight's session, we have a couple announcements to get through as usual. Starting off, I'd like to give a special shout out to composer Claudie Makula. I apologize if I'm not pronouncing that right. Who has given us permission to use a track that will be very useful during the next few sessions. And you will be, if you were listening to the waiting music, it was the first track up, and you'll be hearing it again before the end of the night. But the track is titled this is going to happen a lot tonight. El Castillo de Santiago. I probably slaughtered the pronunciation. Castillo?
El Castillo de Santiago.
There we go.
There we
All
go.
right. In the video descriptions on Facebook and YouTube, I have put a link at the top to her YouTube as well. And of course, if you're watching on Twitch, you can always hit our music credits button, which will bring you to a document containing all of our music credits, and her link is right at the top. So please go check out her page. She's an awesome composer, lots of really nice music to listen to or to play while you're playing Dungeons & Dragons yourself. So thank you again to her for allowing us to use her track. If you have not already heard, Bold Wolf Gaming's 90s Night and Fantasy Night have moved to new times. They are Monday and Tuesday night, respectively, at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, so I will not be playing at the crack of dawn, or at 9:30 if you're on the West Coast, on a weekday. So that's lots of fun, a lot more energy on my end, playing at a decent time of night. So hope to see you there. Tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, the By Zero Squad will be playing Enlisted until 11:30. This is a new squad-based World War II first-person shooter that is very unique and realistic, and we have a lot of fun with it, so be sure to check that out as well. We have a giveaway tonight. Hey, the viewers are starting to pick up. Apparently some people have heard. We do have a giveaway tonight, and unfortunately, since my webcam is frozen, I can't show you, but if you take a look at Ryan's frame, he is wearing the Regulators t-shirt that we are giving away tonight. It is already underway, and you have a total of an hour and 16 minutes to participate. So if you're watching from another platform, be sure to hop over on Twitch and enter !Regulators for your chance to win this t-shirt. And when the giveaway is over, we will announce the winner. And as always, of course, be sure to check out our partners, Swift Lifestyles, and enter !Swift for details on how you can get a discount on their energy and focus boosting products. Bear with me just a moment, because I really would like to try to get webcam running again.
Take your time.
Just a second. Or have to go behind the computer.
That's always fun.
Ouch. That hurts. Still can't get to the back of my computer. jammed up.
I didn't do nothing, I swear. All I did was move the monitor today. That really didn't cause anything, did it?
I don't think so. And it was working earlier when I was testing everything out, so.
What's your RAM usage at?
Just a moment.
Come again.
Yeah, it could be RAM or GPU. Who knows?
17%.
I don't know.
Is that good or bad?
It's not using much at all.
Oh. Okay. Then our computer's being a pain in the butt.
Yep.
Hey, there you are.
Yep. I had to recreate the source, so we will just. Everybody can bear with me just a moment while I reconfigure everything.
Technology. Both will be helpful to us and our downfall.
There we go. Alright. The green screen was working perfect earlier too. No more. Alright.
Now it's being a butt.
Yeah, no big deal. Alright, we're back. We're underway. Show must go on. Alright, so. Go ahead and change the music here.
Is the layer gonna be that little?
What, my webcam?
Like the whole thing in general?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're looking at. There we go. Alright, so, sorry about that, folks. Previously on Winds of Earrenia, the Regulators defeated the leader of the Petagma cartel and rescued the brother of Captain Marcus, as well as his family. When Malcolm received a message from Margette, the mother of his unborn child, he decided it was time to return to Anexa for a visit. In the middle of the night, at 1,200 feet, they received an unexpected visitor. A messenger working for the elder vampire Lord Salas, inviting them to break bread with him and promising safe passage to and from the event. They accepted the offer and continued to Anexa, where they were greeted by several old friends from the early days of their adventures. Argette expressed concerns about Malcolm's criminal lifestyle continuing after the champion's mission for the Fira was complete, and he both promised to retire to a legitimate means of living and asked for her hand in marriage. When the night of the dinner with Salas arrived, the Regulators were whisked away on a carriage pulled by a giant bat and brought to an ancient manor that appeared to be in the Salas family since his mortal life. At dinner, Salas cleared Mira of the brand left on her after their battle at the Sinsol Vale and expressed his desire to help them. He explained that allying himself with Mantis thousands of years ago was an act of self-preservation, but he knew what the winning side was and he wasn't going to make the same mistake twice. When he learned of their quest to remove Orcus from the mortal realm, he agreed to provide information and manpower to that end, and in exchange they would allow him to leave Akriomon never to be seen again. The Regulators agreed to the arrangement, and as a start, Salas took a look at their information on the remaining God-Killer weapons. He narrowed down the locations and warned them of some of the dangers they may likely face in seeking them. Their business concluded, and they departed the manor by the same means they came, and returned to Anexa to prepare for their journey to Rumlin, to retrieve the weapon of the Champion of Life, Sayuna's Blade, from the ruins of Earsmore. So, After a few moments in the carriage, you again return to normal night sky, and the carriage descends and lands on the road outside the northern side of Anexa, right where you were picked up. And you guys are free to do what you like. Are you heading directly back to the palace?
Well, what time of day did you say it was?
It was midnight when we got there.
Yeah, it's approaching about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
Sleep.
I mean, I guess sleep or carousing. That's the question.
Carousing.
I guess I'll head back and sleep.
Yeah, it might be a good idea. Mira's
I
gonna do
think
the same
sleep's a
thing.
good idea too.
All right, so you proceed through the still somewhat bitter cold and dark, silent night in the city of Anexa towards the Lord Mayor's palace. It takes you a few moments to get down the road and into the palace grounds. As you enter the building, there's still some lights on, some candles lit in various hallways, and you get to the upper floor where the bedrooms are. You find Clambach, Lord Mayor Clambach, wandering the halls with a drink in hand, stopping to stare intently at various paintings on the wall. He looks a bit like that meme of Quentin Tarantino staring at various displays.
Does he seem like he's drunk?
Roll a perception check. Or an insight. I'd give you insight for that one if you prefer.
I'm gonna go with insight.
Okay.
Thank God. 12.
12.
Ouch.
You do not get the impression that he is intoxicated, at least not to the point of not sloppy drunk. He might be buzzed at most. Mostly you pick up tiredness, an emotional tiredness, and yeah, that'd be about all you get with 12.
Kind of like he's distant.
Sorry, what was that?
Kind of like he is distant.
Yes, lost in thought.
Am I standing next to Malcolm?
Yeah, I'd say the three of you are in a bunch at this point. You haven't separated to go to your rooms yet.
Okay, I'm gonna nudge Malcolm and ask him, is this the opportunity we've been looking for to add a couple of keys?
You're thinking of Lorimer, Jake.
What?
You're thinking
Yes,
of Lord
yes, you
Lorimer.
are. You're thinking of Lorimer.
That's okay. You'll get your opportunity soon, I think.
Jake is dying to pull this prank.
Jake nudges me, and I wonder if he's drunk. But I look over at Clambach, and does he look like he's staring at these pictures like he's paranoid about them, or trying to see something in them?
You get the impression he's just trying to occupy himself.
He's having trouble sleeping.
Trying to absorb his environment, trying different things to try to get himself a little worn down so he can actually sleep.
Maybe we need to find him a little female gnome.
Maybe one named Pike.
All right, so while you guys are staring at him, trying to figure out what's going on with him, he does notice your presence, and he brightens up a bit. Oh, welcome back. Glad to see the dinner with vampires was really just dinner with vampires. Everyone's in one piece. You see him kind of like he's not trying to be noticed doing it, but you do see him glancing at your necks just to make sure.
I'm gonna hide my collar.
Just to make
Try to
him
cover
more
my
familiar.
neck. Oh yeah.
Alrighty.
Oh my god.
I look at him and I say, "Don't worry. I know that this is a vampire's favorite city, but none of them followed us here." Get it? Next.
You're just coming up with all of the dad jokes.
Clambach pats you on the shoulder and says, "I'm glad you never tried to become a bard."
How did Clambach pat me on the shoulder? Do I have to like kneel down for him to do it?
Yeah, does he like jump up and
Touche. Okay, all right. So he doesn't actually pat. Sometimes I forget that he's an gnome. Anyway, you get the idea. Well, anyway, glad to see you all safe and sound. Everyone heading to bed, then?
Yep.
Right. Malcolm, if I could have a moment.
That's fine. I was actually about to say maybe I should play a game of chess or something with him to work his mind a little bit. Tire him out.
All right. So Zuko and Miri, do you head on? Applied directly to the forehead. I'll take that as a yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Clambach kind of starts, walking and talking and beckons you to follow him, circling the upper hallways of the building, and he says, "Congratulations again on your engagement. I was thinking, I know you're probably moving on soon, but it doesn't feel right not to mark the occasion properly. Now, I could have every person of importance, or self-importance anyway, in Annexa here for a big party in your honor, but I was thinking alternatively, a nice small dinner and drinks among friends. I was thinking the regulators, Arget, myself, Ethid, Tidgrud, Lorimer maybe, and the Jarl if he can make it. But just those of us who are aware of the state of the world as it truly is right now."
I think that would be nice. Can we also invite Gavin? By any chance?
Gavin. Oh, Tidgrud's friend. Well, I'll ask him to pass it along if you feel like he is someone you'd like to have here. Yes, I'll get the invites sent out right away. I guess it's past midnight now. This evening then. And then you can be on your way following morning if you wish.
Hey, Malcolm.
Yes.
I didn't know if you wanted to invite the ticket guy.
That's actually tempting.
All right. Well,
nah. Ticket guy can stay on his little window.
I'll go get those invites taken care of, and I'll see you in the morning.
See you in the morning, Clambach. Thank you.
All right, so you guys head to bed. Nice, peaceful night of sleep. Before we skip ahead to the dinner party, is there anything you guys want to go in town to buy to prepare for your trip to Rumlin? Any research you guys want to do?
Isn't Rumlin where Malcolm is from?
Correct. He was born
I think we should do some research.
Mira, what are you looking to look up?
Well, I believe he was considered a wanted man there, wasn't he? That's why he changed his appearance.
Yeah.
I want to make sure, that the maybe the wanted man thing has like died down or something. Last thing we need is us going there and Malcolm getting arrested or something.
Okay. Different kind of research than I was expecting. All right. So roll an investigation check to see if you can find any operatives from the night shifters.
Okay. I kind of wonder which way you thought I was going.
Well, I mean, I thought like actual research about where you're going. You're talking more intel.
Yes. Though I am curious about Malcolm's homeland too. Crap. Okay, you said investigation check. I'm. Uh, 15?
15. Okay. Takes you a few hours into the day, but you do manage to locate an operative, one you actually recognize. You've seen around the hideout in Palhas before. So you ask him about Malcolm's status in Rumlin.
Mm-hmm.
One of the entities that was hunting me down was the Temple of the Black Star, which they aren't around anymore.
Right.
So really, just the Tercio Legion, I think, would be looking for me.
I just want to make sure, man. I got your back.
Yes. Well, there is still an active warrant out for him, but I can tell you personally, I've seen the wanted posters, and honestly, if I didn't know Malcolm semi-personally, I wouldn't say he's recognizable on the posters. In fact, unless he meets somebody that knew him in his childhood, well, or as he became an adult, I would say, or he was standing right next to one of these wanted posters, it's very unlikely anybody would recognize him for who he is. As you said, the Temple of the Black Star is no longer active. But the Tercio Legion, of course, is still embarrassed by the fact that they've evaded him for over a decade, and they would still be very much interested in bringing him in. So I wouldn't have him go around using his real name.
Ah, crap. I got this. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. Anybody else got anything?
Knowing my knowledge about the area, would I be able to determine what kind of weather we are in for there?
This time of year, you're looking at lows of 61 and highs of like 75.
Okay, so sweater weather.
Yeah, well, compared to what you guys have been dealing with lately, it's practically going to be warm. At times, the indirect sunlight, especially with the humidity, it can feel a lot hotter. You know that, and this is definitely the wet season. But yeah, you'll definitely want to get rid of your winter liners and stuff like that when you head down. And of course, the insects and everything else down there never stop. So. But it is definitely going to be more pleasant than if you went like in the middle of the summer.
Something's wrong with her pen.
So we should be fine. We shouldn't need any extra clothing or anything.
It's not responding.
Let me see. Hold on, just a sec.
And it's starting to do a static noise too. I don't think this thing runs on actual batteries.
Which it did, honestly.
If it did, it'd be a lot easier. She's been very careful with it. I wouldn't understand why it's going back.
Alright, it seems to have reset. Tell her if it continues having problems, we'll figure out a way to replace it. That's not her fault that it got damaged or stopped working properly.
See that?
Huh?
You heard that?
What?
It's not responding. It's glitching.
Stop.
Just turned it on again.
Oh.
Great. All right. Well, I'll see if there was a warranty card with it or anything, and if not, we'll just buy a replacement.
Alright, sounds good to me. I don't know what to do though, because it's not responding to any key presses.
Tell her I'm sorry. There's nothing we can do about it right this minute.
Yeah,
I
I might
get
just need a factory reset or something.
Thanks for helping.
Yeah, it's a possibility too. All right. Well, anyway, so anything else you want to look into, or what you want information on?
So the is it Solas? I can't remember because there's a bit of a Solus, a Solas, a Solia. You were really happy with the soul names for a while there, Matt.
The vampire.
Yeah,
Silas.
Solas. So did he give us a roundabout area or any kind of maps or anything like that?
He told you that it was in the northern swamp, north of Lorem Sur. He says the landscape most likely has changed a bit since that's right about where the continents split off. He imagines the area is probably pretty badly flooded at this point, but it's about 3.5 days or so into the swamp.
So let me think here. Do we know how badly the swamp floods this time of year? Or maybe we should look. Maybe that's something we could look up at the library or something.
From your memory, like I said, this is the wet season. I mean, it's always wet down there, but this is the worst of it. Lots of precipitation. The swamps tend to be pretty badly flooded.
Like flooded badly enough where we should probably get some kind of boat.
No, there will still be, as long as you've got a decent ranger with you, you'll be able to find paths to walk through. But you'll be surrounded, depending on the path you take, you'll most of the time at least be surrounded by water.
A decent ranger?
Yeah.
Oh, we have the Zuko, so... Just picking on you, man.
No, I know. I was just thinking. So you know how we've got that power core for the ship
Yeah.
that helps it stay in the air?
Yeah.
What if we made a much smaller scale and made like bikes?
Well, I don't know that we have the capability of doing that, but that's something we could probably commission from the people that made the airship. We could draw it out.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Get some land speeders going. I like where your
Yeah,
head's
because
at.
I mean, the swamp would, even though our mounts are mystical, I'm sure they wouldn't want to be knee deep in swamp for days.
That's a good
What I
question
missed, guys,
too.
sorry.
With our mounts being magical creatures, would they actually have a disadvantage walking through that kind of terrain?
They wouldn't have too much trouble. I completely forgot you had them. That actually would make traversing through the swamp a lot more pleasant than doing it on foot.
Do we, with my knowledge of the area, do I know or think that there's relatively decent places to camp along the way? Like, is there enough dry area to, put down a tent or something for us to sleep comfortably?
It varies widely. You would be able to find places, but sometimes it would take a little bit whenever you decided. So you would want to be looking ahead of time before you have no choice but to stop to try to find something, because it can take a while to locate the ideal camping spot out there. Mind you, you've only been so far north of the city. Most people stay pretty far away because it is nothing but wilderness north of that city for tens of miles. Yeah, probably at least 100 now that I think of it.
So the only other thing I could think of would be that maybe stop by Alhi's to see about some kind of magical item that might make it easier for us to swim underwater or breathe underwater, because with all this talk of the area being flooded, I'm kind of wondering how much swimming we might have to do to actually get into the ruins where this thing might be at.
I agree with you. I was gonna make a suggestion like that, except for it slipped my mind.
Maybe, something episode 1-ish, where they just kind of clip it in their mouth and go under following Jar Jar.
I hate Jar Jar.
I hate Jar Jar.
Jessica likes Jar Jar.
Why?
I don't know.
I figured out what's wrong with the pen.
What?
I think you didn't charge it enough.
But there's something's going wrong with it. Okay. Do you want it back to try again?
I think I need to try the treasure island right here. Okay?
You so don't know what you're
It's free
talking
now.
about.
It's charged. Keep trying it. Like I said, we'll get it replaced if we have to. But you need to go to bed.
Hold on.
I'll look into after session. I'll look into getting another
It's
pen.
not letting you press home. Hold on.
I wouldn't get a whole new pen if it's for that book thing. I wouldn't get a whole new pen yet. I would go through some troubleshooting first, but
Yeah.
It's turned off.
Yeah, of course. It's weird that it's having issues. She loves using that pen. It makes her happy,
All right.
and I love seeing my kids happy.
or perhaps some gillyweed. We could eat some gillyweed and go swimming.
There is a potion of water breathing, which Mira has the recipe for.
Ooh, yeah, that's right. Are we
So we
supposed
could get
to be
some
looking at
components
this?
for that. Let's see here. Potion of water breathing.
Hey, it worked.
All right, take it upstairs, Vaughn.
Hold on. I'm trying to make sure it's going to do the whole thing.
You may all bring pets to school. Ozzy Otter shouted.
It sounds like it's going well. Tell her to take it upstairs and to let me know if she has any problems.
Take it upstairs. Let us know if you have any problems. All right.
Stein, just make sure it's okay.
It is okay, Valencia.
Valley,
Take
it sounds fine. I'm talking to her and she probably can't even hear me.
She can't hear you. Just take it upstairs.
Listen to Daddy.
I don't want that to happen again. If it goes
Valencia,
again.
it's fine. Just use it for now.
But what if it
It's
does
okay,
that?
Valencia.
And it's okay. Just go to bed. All right. I cannot find the dang card.
You didn't give it to me.
It's something I actually made for you guys in the Diablo campaign that has been sitting in my binder forever, and now I can't find it.
Oh boy.
Okay, so yes, Alhi does actually happen to have on stock a color of water breathing. Details are simple. It's an attuned item, so it'll take a
Is the
slot.
collar stylish?
Little gaudy, but you wear it around your neck, and as long as you're attuned to it, you can breathe underwater for an indefinite period. And he is willing to let that go for.
Oh, before he lets it go,
Yeah.
Did he get confirmation about our oh my god, my brain.
Discount.
Yes, that's right. Thank you, Ryan.
Yes. He confirms he talked to his brother and knows who you are now.
Good.
So, with your discount, that puts it at 800 gold pieces. And he only has the one. But that would allow at least one of you to be able to submerge yourself for any reason you needed to. Indefinitely.
Which one of us almost drowned in that tower at Elta?
Well, a better question is which one of us has 3 attuned items, because you can only attune 3. So, depending on what we're all doing here.
I don't think I have any open slots.
I'm looking right now, just to be sure. Equipment, attunement.
I think I've
You
used
do-
all my slots as well.
Yeah, you have a cloak of displacement, belt of frost giant strength, and your blade attuned. Let me just check. Let me just check Zuko real quick too. Yes, you have the Ring of Invisibility, Ring of Regeneration, and your all-purpose tool. I
see the
only
chat's
have,
going pretty live.
I only have my gloves right now, so I guess I'll take it.
Yes. Take the collar. Be a good boy. No, I'm kidding.
So you said was the collar of water breathing?
Yeah. I don't think it officially exists. I believe it is something that I put together.
Created.
But if you cannot find an equivalent in there, just write down what it does. I will get that added in on Sunday, but suffice to say you'll have it.
Not a problem. You said it was 800 gold?
Yep.
Yes.
Mira, you, I believe, have gillyweed that you picked up in the castle, right?
Yes. When Ryan mentioned the name, I distinctly remember you saying that name during that session.
Yeah. I think the only thing you're missing is the hag finger. So,
Ew. Sorry.
So you'd be looking at 50 gold pieces of potion, and I'd say during the trip to Lorum Sor, you would have enough time to make 2.
Okay, cool.
And
So
mind you,
I'll
these
subtract-
potions only give you 1 hour of water breathing, but it's something.
Okie dokie. I'll subtract. You said 50 gold?
Yep. And we'll just say you are pretty much going to be occupied for the majority of the trip doing that.
Okay. Why have a picture of Wolfric just sitting there?
Yeah, because we're looking at 8 hours times 3, 60. Yeah, so you'd be able to get about 2 done over the trip, and maybe have a little time left over to do something else casual. But
Okay.
all right. Anything else you guys want to do? Any research? Any?
I guess I would like to see if there's any maps of the area where we might be able to pinpoint a better idea of where this might actually be at. Maybe go to the library, see if there's any kind of old maps.
Actually, that's a pretty good idea.
Now we still have our Dune notebook as well, right? So I guess we could also compare it. Or we have maps from our Dune, I think, too, right?
Yeah, you have a
Yes, that's
very,
good.
very old map with a bunch of magical markings on it, which is how you got it narrowed down to the general area before. All right. And anything else you want to be looking for while you're in there? While you're in the Rumlin section?
This is where Klizmir is going to be, right?
No, that's in Kartanok. You're going after
Okay.
Mira's weapon.
Gotcha. So I guess maybe what kind of enemies we might face over there?
Okay.
I mean,
that's a great idea.
All right. So Malcolm heads over to the archives of. Wow, it's been so long.
Well, the last time we were there, I kind of shocked the bookkeep. Yeah, whoops.
Archives of Udal, that's it. And
I'll wait outside.
Malcolm, could you roll an investigation check for me?
Okay.
I sure can. Investigation.
Oh wait, he will. I'm stupid. Never mind.
That's a whopping 5. So it's gonna take me all day.
Oh
Okay.
shit.
Yeah, that's basically what it comes down to. You find some books with maps, even some older maps. Nothing that is any better than what you already got. You find some mentions of Earsmore, but nothing that actually pinpoints it any further than you already have it. Joe Biden's dad. It is 7:50 p.m. right now here. And thanks for stopping by.
Nice
Appreciate it.
username.
Yeah, Joe Biden's dad's been like hopping on all my YouTube streams for the last couple of weeks. Really appreciate it.
That's awesome.
So no improvement in the map department. You do find a book on exotic creatures of Rumlin. Of course, you know the basics. There's plenty of poisonous snakes, spiders,
Lovely.
alligators.
Okay, quick question.
Yeah.
Is Rumlin basically Florida?
Rumlin's more Mexico than Florida, but yeah, kind of like a cross between the two, right on the border there.
Everglades.
Lovely.
Yeah, Everglades, essentially. Well, and specifically around Lorem Sewer. You get further into Rumlin, then you're in Mexico.
God.
So do the people there talk like people from the Bayou with this Spanish accent?
No, there's
That actually sounds interesting.
all right, culturally, Rumlin is very interesting. It doesn't. There is the accent tends to be Spanish. The naming conventions are really odd though, because the two cultures that settled here and then fought and then kind of merged together is essentially the equivalent of Japan and Spain. So there's a lot of people with like Spanish first names and Japanese last names and vice versa. And
Yuki
there's
Garcia.
a lot of like that. It's a lot of odd mishmashes because they definitely did not come together peacefully. And it's very
Bye.
interesting culture. But as far as the language, of course, is Castilian, which is Spanish, and the accents tend to have that Mexican sound to it. Anyway,
So cuisine, is it like Santa Fe sushi?
yes, actually, the food conventions, there's a very like just a clash between the two. Architecture as well. But anyway, so you get into the more exotic. It mentions, of course, torch spiders, which you guys have already encountered.
Lovely.
It also warns of giant alligators, and when it says giant, it shows you a diagram of a average human compared to one of these things, and these things could swallow a full-size human whole.
Does Malcolm pee his pants?
Malcolm has probably seen them before.
Oh shit.
You've seen some pretty large ones, but you've never seen anything quite that big. But the one time you did go seriously out into the wilderness in Rumlin, you went inwards towards the drier parts. So you haven't been in any swamps that had these yet. It mentions fish people, not merfolk, more the reverse. Semi-humanoid creatures.
I'm picturing the ones from Harry Potter. Am I close?
I don't quite remember what they looked like.
I'm thinking more like How I Met Your Mother, top half fish.
Yeah. Big bug-eyed creatures, very, very, very territorial, not super intelligent, very religious. They have a tendency of finding anything that they consider more powerful than them and worshiping it and working for it. They tend to stay away from settlements, though. And the last thing it warns, and they're still pretty rare, but it does mention the presence in Rumlin of hydras.
Oh, great.
Hell no. Oh, hell no. I'm out.
While and most of the book focuses on creatures, it also mentions a particularly dangerous plant called a sandbox tree.
What the crap now?
Pretty much everything about it is poisonous, including its sap. Its trunk is covered in thorns, very large thorns, and the fruit, when it is ready to spread its seed, tends to fall from the tree and explode, sending the seeds flying out at about 125 miles an hour. Which, of course, also, if it breaks the skin, is going to cause poison. So, that is what you discover during your day of research.
Dear God.
And you said Hydra, right?
Yes, Hydra.
Yes, he said a Hydra.
So, can we also research Hydras and how to...
No, we're not
take care
fighting
of
one,
them?
Malcolm.
The book,
No.
the book goes into detail.
Turn tail and run.
A multi-headed reptilian creature, which when you remove one of its head, it brings back twice as many. The only way to keep it from continuously regrowing its head is to cause fire damage.
Okay.
Thus basically cauterizing the neck to keep it from reproducing. It talks about that its breeding season is right about now.
Oh, hell no.
It tends to find a wet but dark, secluded area to.
Oh, so like ruins where a god killer weapon might be.
Yeah, very
We're
possible.
gonna die. It's been nice knowing you guys. We're gonna die.
And it mentions that hatching season is about the only time you will ever see two of them in one place.
Oh, we about to fight two of them. I can see it coming.
Run, bitches, run.
We're gonna put off your mission for a few more months.
Yep. Let's do something else. Let's go drink instead.
Guys, it's only been like a couple months since we started this whole thing. It's not like we could just spend a couple months doing nothing.
Watch me.
All right. Joe Biden's dead. This is Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, so that's what you learn.
Lovely.
It does express that pretty much the most dangerous thing about the Hydra, though, is the regrowing of its head, and people who try to defend themselves against the creature, and do not know this, just keep making their problem worse.
In other words, wise words from Philites. Would you forget the head slicing thing?
All right, so you finish your research. Mira goes and gets her supplies for the water-breathing potion. You guys eventually return to the palace. As people are beginning to arrive, the dining room is decorated very nicely. They even managed to scrounge up some imported flowers, created a nice arch over the main doorway. It all looks very wedding-like to celebrate your engagement.
You should just get married right now. Go buy her a wedding dress.
By the time you guys get there, most of the guests have arrived. The Jarl and his fiance did make it. Gavin did not. Aphid is there. She is wearing a very elegant-looking gambeson with the a somewhat reimagined design of the Hellish crest, and she's wearing a very nice formal sword at her side. But she's not actually armored. Tidgrud is also...
No, because that's basically my job.
Tidgrud is cleaned up a bit as well. Arget is already waiting for you. She's already mingling with the guests. Lorimer has arrived and is also mingling already and drinking. But as this mingling going on, you, Malcolm, you join Arget, I assume?
Yes, I do. I guess I probably should look for a ring while I was in town, huh?
Oh, you did. You got the enchanted
ring.
Yes,
you did already.
Oh, yeah, I remember now.
I am curious what the rings look like, but that could be discussed later.
The Jarl comes up and congratulates you. And he presents to you a gift, a miniature version of the silver lion statues from his great hall, about that big. Probably worth a pretty penny, but very nice polished silver. And he presents that to you as a gift.
Okay, good. Malcolm, now we don't have to steal the one that he's got.
Well, we're still going to steal it one day.
Oh, come on!
Ephid comes up to you and says, as a knight, especially of a new order, she doesn't have much to give in the way of gifts, but she promises that when your kid is of an appropriate age, she will help train them to fight. So that you never have to worry about their safety.
Excuse me. The pincher's off.
Oh, crap.
It just definitely, when I was playing it, I'd take activity so it can get tired out.
Did you try to turn it on? Back on?
Yeah.
Alright.
I tried, but
Well,
it didn't
we'll
do
take a
it.
look at it tomorrow then and see what's going on with it. Alright? Sorry, you'll have to...
If you tried turning it off and back on again.
Last,
Just turn it back on. Did you try that?
Yeah, it did the same. It did the same thing with me this earlier.
kept being off.
Just make the best of it, sweetie. I'll plug it into the computer tomorrow and see if I can reset it. Alright?
Maybe it's not registered anymore. Maybe it went zoop.
Yes. Like I said, I'll plug it into the computer tomorrow and we'll mess with it. Alright? Just make the best of it, okay?
Try to get some sleep, kid.
Anyway, so that's her gift to you. Lorimer finally approaches, and he is carrying something very large covered in a sheet. under his arm, and also in his hand a
I know.
small wooden box.
I know, baby. I heard.
First, he hands the wooden box to you, Malcolm. And inside is 20.
You're safe. We're both here, so it's okay. Okay.
20 Elderum
Give me a
rounds
few minutes.
for your
Don't rush
guns.
me.
Oh, I was actually about to ask him about some dragon's breath.
He is more than willing to sell you some of those as well, but he gave you a free 20 rounds of the fire damage ones, the standard fire damage ones.
That works out for me, because evidently I had 20 of them already, so now I have 40.
Fantastic. He says, that is for you, Malcolm, and this one is more for Arget, but I think both of you will enjoy it. We should probably have some privacy for this. And he kind of guides you off of the main dining hall.
I walk up next to him and try to take his keyring off to throw to Zuko.
Okay, slide a hand check.
Sleight of hand. Where are you? 27 total.
27. Okay, that'll do it. You managed to get the keys off pretty easily, and he does not notice. You toss them to Zuko?
Yep.
All right, so Zuko, you have Lorimer's keyring.
All right, I'm gonna put 2 keys on in random spaces. I don't want them to be next to each other.
Okay, fair enough. Now, are you going for enough
Are we
weight
pulling the prank?
right off the bat for it to bring him down?
No,
So you're going to save that for another meeting?
that's gonna be another time.
Okay, fair enough.
We want him to get used to it.
All right. Oh, who knows? It's a long night. You might be able to get his key several times before it's over.
Well, there we go.
All right. So
This ought to be fun.
Lorimer guides you off into a side hallway, and he uncovers about a 4-foot oval mirror. And he says to Arget, "This might be startling at first, but I think in the end you'll really appreciate this." And he uncovers the mirror and aims it at her torso. And in the reflections, does startle her at first, but it actually makes her clothes and skin translucent. And Malcolm, for the first time, you get to see your unborn child.
Oh my god. It's an ultrasound.
Yeah, basically. Magical medieval ultrasound.
Interesting.
That is very interesting. Boy, girl.
Let's see. How many weeks is she have?
It's been a couple months. Come on, we gotta know.
I feel like she's probably pretty close to 18 weeks. So I'm gonna.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's. If mine could be told right now, hers could be soon.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's scientifically accurate
Oops.
because I haven't actually done the math, but we'll just say. Yes, it looks like. Let me double check my notes from all that time ago. It is a girl.
Okay.
Oh, Malcolm, you having a girl?
Awesome. I think we actually picked a name out already for that, but
You did?
it's in my notes somewhere.
Because I completely forgot.
Or maybe I typed it. Oh no, we had one. If it was a boy, we had a name. But it's a girl.
That's right, you were going to name the boy after a lark, weren't you?
Yep. Alaric,
Mhm.
Percival, Ethan.
I love it.
We could call her Alaria.
That's not a bad name. That actually sounds very nice. I like it.
Is that what you suggest to Arget?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
What does
Arget,
our guest say?
I like it. I like it a lot. And I feel like that meant something to you.
It's a variation of our companion Alaric. That I had to shoot in the face. No, he got turned with Orcus, and we had to fight him. But he was a good friend and a good companion.
Well then, Alaria it is. Thank you, Lorimer. This is macabre, but very appreciated. And she just kind of puts the sheet back over it. Need to prepare myself before I look at that again.
Has she walked away yet?
They all three of you have, unless Malcolm, you want to stay behind for any reason. Lorimer starts heading back into the dining room.
So I would like to uncover it and look at myself.
I need this discovering. Wait. Go invisible and then look at yourself. Can you be like translucent and invisible?
Whoa!
Will it break the mirror if you do that? Will you have seven years bad luck?
Zuko gets sucked into a mirror dimension, and this completely derails the next few sessions.
Holy shit!
But no, I
It
am
would be
gonna
just
follow.
like us, though, to do that.
I am gonna follow Lorimer and actually talk to him a little bit more and buy 3 Dragon's Breath rounds off of him if he has them available. If not, then I don't know what we'll do.
Yes.
Actually, let me get the keys back from Zuko first.
Okay.
Oh,
Put
you
them
he
back on his
grabbed them
belt.
already?
Well, I threw them too. I mean, he put 2 keys on it.
Nice.
But if I'm gonna ask him for ammo, he might have to
Go back
open
to
a
the
door
tower.
for.
Yeah.
We probably want his keys back on him first.
All right. How many did you want to buy? They're 200 apiece. Like
I'm gonna
individual
grab.
ones.
I'm gonna grab 3 of them.
Oh,
So that's 600 gold.
that makes it 600.
Yep.
Yeah, Lorimer easily goes because he says he's probably going to be inebriated by the end of the night and doesn't want to forget. He does take his keys. Sleight of hand check to get the keys back on him.
That should be no problem. Let's roll that out here. 19.
Ooh.
Yep, easily passes his notice. He goes into his tower and comes back with your 3 Dragon's Breath rounds.
Zuko, do you want me to key him again so you can add a couple more on?
Oh, let's wait a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, he said he's gonna be pretty inebriated, so he probably won't even notice.
Well, it's just gonna be easier and easier as he goes
And
along.
sleight of hand checks are going
Mhm.
to end up with advantage. All right, so dinner is finally served. You all sit around the table and have conversations and food and drink. Malcolm, Arget does at one point ask you, so where are you heading after this?
I let her know that we are going after one of the sacred weapons of the champions in Rumlin, my hometown.
Larum Sor. Well, just remember what they say, you can't go home again. Do you think your dad's still around?
I'm not entirely sure. I haven't been back home in some time.
She moves on the conversation on to more casual stuff. During dinner, Mira Ephid also is, of course, talking with you throughout the meal. She asks for updates on everything that's happened since you last saw her. Which
Of course, I'll tell her honestly everything.
and that pretty much includes the Temple of Gedia, the fight in the Sinsol Vale.
She's probably gonna whack me though. I told you to be careful, type of thing.
No, she actually takes it all in stride and seems very proud of you for what you've accomplished. She updates you that that the knights are, of course, are getting set up in the newly refurbished Fort Anexa. She does quietly mention that they are sharing the fort for the time being with the Order of the Crystal Eye.
Oh. That's interesting.
Yes, it has been interesting. They're living in the lower levels, out of sight. The public is somewhat aware of the Knightly Order being there, but of course, the Order of the Crystal Eye is very secretive. We do have a few of their travelers, I believe they're called. The archers that seem to be able to blend in with a crowd, like they're camouflaged or something, but they do help defend the fort, but they mostly stay out of view. It's been trying.
I'm sure it has.
Yeah. Well, who knows what's going to be happening in the long term, but if I'm being completely honest, I look forward to the day when we are no longer living on top of each other. But we are up to 20 knights. Quite a few volunteers, so to speak. It is shaping up a lot faster than I expected.
That's a good thing, though, too.
By the way, Zuko and Malcolm, you are sitting close enough to hear most of this conversation. So if at any point you want to chime in with anything.
To join in, please do.
You do notice that Clambach did not invite Alexandria. She is not present, even though she is one of the people that is privy to the stuff that's going on. But if you guys have nothing to say with any of that, towards the end of dinner, Clambach stands up and gets everybody's attention, and he raises a glass. I would like to toast to the happy couple. I've known one longer than the other, but I consider them both close friends and, well, honestly, family. It is nice to have this brief moment of happiness and hope to contrast against the world's troubles, ones that the world doesn't even know it has yet. But I hope this is a sign of the things to come. And I wish the two of you nothing but the best. I had a hard time finding an appropriate gift. Of course, I could afford just about anything you could possibly hoped for, but I wanted something meaningful, and I finally occurred to me while I was busy not sleeping last night. And I hope you enjoy it. And he goes into the corner of the room and pulls out a lute. And he starts strumming it and plays a song. And it is a ballad that talks about the first time that Malcolm met Argette. He takes a lot of artistic license, tells a story of how Malcolm came into town and fell in love at first sight, and tried to woo Argette, but she kept turning him down. And he tells a story of how Malcolm keeps going out to find more and more dangerous creatures to slay to win her affection, ending with the werewolf. And he does also include a very accurate mention of Zuko dropping out of the second-story window to avoid the father.
Of course.
That was the best thing ever, though.
But that is that is his gift to you, a ballad, heroic ballad about Malcolm and Argette and how they fell in love, even if some of the details are made up. It's very pleasant.
I give a standing
awesome.
I give a standing ovation for it, of course.
Encore!
Clambach gives a bow. The table is moved to the side. More drinks are served. Dancing begins. Zuko, are you wanting to make another attempt at that keyring?
Yeah.
All right. Malcolm, you want to roll your... Lorimer's getting quite inebriated at this point.
19.
19. All right.
That's a good roll, dude.
Lorimer is sitting down, chatting with Argette, actually, while you manage to sneak the keyring off of him. Give it to Zuko. Zuko, how many more are you putting on?
2 more.
2 more. All right. So it's starting to add a significant amount of weight. Ooh. All right. Malcolm, you want to put the key, do another sleight of hand check?
Yep. 18.
18. All right, you successfully get it back on, but he stays there for a good another half hour, at least, continuing to talk to Argette. Huh? What?
Are you messing with the settings?
Yeah, I'm turning the music down a little bit.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah, because it shrunk. I keep forgetting you guys are looking at that screen. So, what would you guys like to do?
I guess I kind of want to mingle and just, make sure I talk to everybody and thank them all for coming.
Okay. So you go around the room doing that. It's about another hour. Lorimer still has not left his seat, but he is getting much, much drunker. Clambach has actually thrown himself into playing the music for everybody. He seems to enjoy pretending he's still a bard instead of a ruler for a little while.
Not bad, I think it's his way of escaping the job a little bit.
Man, if he needs to tire himself out at night, he's a bard. He could charm anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, anything
I would like
else
to
you guys...
seduce a dragon.
All right, so anything else you guys want to do before the party wraps up?
No.
You gotta
I
stay
can't
at 4
think of
keys?
anything.
Or are you gonna add more, Zuko?
I think
No.
4 is good. We want this to drag out for a little while.
Yeah, that's true. We want him to get used to the weight as Zuko slowly adds more keys. How many keys you got left?
8.
Wow.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun.
All right.
I'm gonna take a mental picture of the key ring so I kind of get a gist of how many there are on there to see if he removes any.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Noted. So as people begin to filter out, Ethan actually asks you, Mira, if you mind her staying with you for the night since you're taking off the next morning.
I don't mind at all.
Everybody else starts to filter out. You see Lorimer get up, and between the drunkenness and the added weight on his belt, he actually does stumble a little bit and feels his pants starting to drag down. He tries to tighten the belt a bit, and otherwise doesn't really pay any notice.
Nice
Clambach
job, boys.
actually comes up to you, Malcolm, and says, "Thank you for this. I feel like I needed this as much as you did."
There's a lot going on in the world, and not many people may know about it, but those in power and those with knowledge have a heavy burden, and I'm glad I was able to hopefully take that burden off you a little bit for tonight.
The hardest part... Great things are happening here in Anexa. And just yesterday, the last shanty on the outside of town was turned into a proper home. Moment of celebration, and then I come back here, and he looks around, make sure nobody's listening in too closely, and I get the news that several regiments of the Vanguard headed towards Haim. Most of them did not return. It just feels like every step forward, I have to deal with a few steps back. So,
did we not warn him about Haim and what's waiting there?
I thought we did.
yeah, he's also been informed of a lot by the Jarl.
Okay, I was gonna say maybe don't send nobody towards Haim for a while.
Now this is apparently the culmination of what you learned a couple weeks
When we
ago
first
now.
arrived here.
About all of the Vanguard being pulled out of the western provinces and heading that direction. So this confirms the Empire is trying to make a full frontal assault against Orcus, and their first attempt did not end well. But this
you
is
poor
nice.
fools.
I feel like I can actually carry this one for a while. So thank you again, and congratulations.
Thank you.
I wish you luck in, wherever you're headed, and I always have a place for you here, whenever you need it.
I appreciate it, my friend.
Just one thing. Arquette is like a sister to me. Sometimes a mother, but I'm not going to get into that.
Oh my.
I trust you to take care of her, but just a fair warning, don't you dare try to elope.
Oh.
If I'm not at that wedding, I will hunt you down. I may be getting old, but I think I'm perfectly capable of it, and I have a lot more resources than I did when I was younger. So.
In other words, he's gonna kick your ass if he doesn't get an invitation. I'd say Clambach should be first on your list.
Yes, I'll make sure, I understand we can't elope.
Just making sure. Yeah, that would be heartbreaking if I missed that. But really, honestly, I think both of you are very lucky to have each other. Well, on that note, need to wash down some of that sappiness and go find some fun. You have a good night.
You as well.
All right, so that is the night. Party comes to an end. You all head to bed, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And, come on. What time would you like to depart in the morning?
After breakfast.
How long will it take us to get to city? I have it up here. 1 second.
I think he said 8 hours.
Thor.
I calculated it last night at 4 days and 4 hours.
By airship to travel there?
Yep.
Good
Holy
lord.
crap.
It's 845 miles. You're literally going from like the furthest east or west coast to the furthest east coast you can go, diagonally too. 845 miles though at 200 miles a day. So yeah.
I guess we'll just leave first thing in the morning. Did Argette? I guess I can talk to Argette whenever I get back to the room with her.
Yeah.
She seemed almost like she was interested in going as well.
Yeah, that's the
it seemed
impression
like
I kind of
she
got off of it too.
May want to meet my father if he's still there and alive. I don't know if he is or not.
Okay. I will give you this, Malcolm, as you start to think through that process. You start thinking back again. This is on the other side of your memory wipe, so sometimes this stuff doesn't occur to you as if it happened to you. But you start thinking about growing up there. Rumblin is a harsh country, not just weather-wise, but rampant corruption, civil wars breaking out at least every few decades.
Holy crap.
And it's a rough place. So I'm not sure if Malcolm would want
Argette to be there.
going there.
Yeah, but depending if my father is still there and if he's safe, maybe I could bring him back or something.
Okay.
Possibly.
If you have this conversation, I really would like to meet your father if he's still around. I hope he didn't get in too much trouble for everything that happened when you left.
And I recall the memories I do remember from growing up, and I know that he was a tinkerer to the actual ruler of Lormsor, and he was pretty well respected, so he probably avoided a lot of the blowback from my whole debacle, I would hope. But I also haven't talked to him in 10 years.
Yeah. Well, either way, I hope you find him. All I can say is, I think you should try. I know it's a bit risky you going down there, but if he is still around, I'm sure he'd want to know you're still alive as well.
It's as long as I don't stay in one place for too long. I don't think it's that much of a risk to try to see him, but I definitely want to avoid going near any wanted posters.
Well, you know how to get a hold of me if you need anything, and I wish you luck. Now let's get some sleep. I'd like to, spend 8 hours directly next to you before I don't see you again for a while.
Cuddle time!
That is correct.
Dude, we love snuggles. We definitely love snuggles.
All right. I'm sorry. One thing I should add to your time estimation. I believe there's a 4-hour time difference as well.
So for ahead or for behind?
When you arrive there, it will be 4 hours later. So you may want to, if you want to leave like pre-dawn, so you're arriving a little closer to the earlier part of the day.
Yeah, so we can do that. I guess I'll use the Vox Caspa and let Dust Chin know that we're going to leave a little bit before dawn. Yep.
Okay.
I'm assuming there's a spire in Lorem Sor as well, correct?
When you were last in Lorem Sor, airships were hardly even a thing yet. You have heard that it... I mean, there's places to dock, but you've heard that other countries have not done quite as much as the Empire has to accommodate infrastructure-wise. So it'll be a slightly different situation, but... yeah, you'll have a place to dock.
Okay.
While we're at it, while Malcolm is thinking through ahead, he does remember that ground trade, even outsiders coming in with caravans and things like that. Again, corruption is like business as usual down there, and you pretty much have to bribe the local members of the Tetsero Legion to keep them from hassling you. So that's something you'll expect.
Oh, great. So we're going to be in a city that's like Riften.
Yes, except with a lot more teeth behind that entire... I mean, it's expected for them to hassle people until they, pay a bribe.
Okay, I'll try to keep my temper in check then.
Yeah. Yep, that's going to be interesting. So, all right, so you guys get a good night's sleep. And shortly before dawn, you say your goodbyes and head to the ship, which takes off and starts making its way towards Rumlin. So, we are going to go to break here. The countdown timer on the giveaway has stopped. Make sure... Eric, are you still with us? I know he wanted to participate in this.
Oh, Eric could not miss a chance for a giveaway.
I'll message him to make sure.
I see 2 things popped up in the chat. I just can't.
Okay, cool. Eric's here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and roll our winner here.
Drum roll, please.
Good luck, Eric and Pits and Skits. We'll see who gets it. And the winner is Pits and Skits. Sorry, Eric. Well, congratulations, Pits and Skits, on your t-shirt. Go ahead and hit that link, and you will be able to redeem a Regulators t-shirt. And Eric, I'm just going to buy you one as a gift. I know how badly you want one. So let me know what size you want, and I rigged. Just a button press there. But, all right. Congratulations, Pits and Skits, for getting the t-shirts. And we are going to take a break from giveaways for a little while. But thinking at least once a month on at least one of our streams, we will do a giveaway. I'm working on a hoodie as well. Nice design to throw up on the store. So be sure to come back and keep an eye on that. So we... So we are going to go ahead and go to break, and when we get back, we will find out what the regulators are going to do with their 4 days on the airship, and find out what is waiting for them in Rumland.
Hopefully some rum in Rumlin. still watching.
All right, and
You're
we are
probably the one
back.
viewer.
Yep. Ryan's gonna be the one viewer. All right,
I think
so
Eric was mad.
I don't think he's actually mad about that. He knows how it works. All right, so the regulators are on board Serenity and on their way to Rumlin. Mira, you're of course spoken for. You can add 2 potions of water breathing, unless somebody wants to claim one of those 2. Of course, Ryan doesn't need it.
I guess I'll take one of them.
Okay.
I'm going to take this time to attune to my Mask of Many Faces.
Okay.
I think that might be a good tool for getting around the city without people noticing me.
Is water breathing 1 word or 2? I think 2, right?
I would think 2.
Alright, got it.
Got it? All right, fantastic.
Yep.
All right, so each of you has one of those, but that pretty much occupies... Is there anything small you want to do, Mira, during that 4 days?
I can read the books I bought.
You want to read? Okay, yeah, I'd say you have time to read through at least one of them.
Sounds good to me.
All right, so you end up picking up the one that is titled Love Like a Rock. Now, the book is engaging, but very poor for what it is supposed to be. The story is deeply connected to the politics of the world surrounding the characters, and the author spends a bit too much time on the political and adventure elements of the story as opposed to the romantic elements. It is also glaringly apparent that parts of the book were plagiarized, as the writing style is dramatically different in many passages, especially the parts that deal with the politics and the background. It's as if they pulled that part out of the history, but word for word. The story follows a woman living in the capital city of an ancient kingdom. You gather that the people in the story are ancient elves, and the city is in a cold, seasonal climate. There's even a map included in the book, which causes you to again scoff at the author's lack of commitment to the genre. But the map is unfamiliar, and you assume it's completely fictional. The country is under almost constant attack from enemies on all sides, and there's a fear that the capital city will eventually be sacked. Then, out of nowhere, the king parades a new army through the streets. He describes the soldiers as cold, emotionless, and powerful. Although all nearly identical, one soldier among them catches her eye, and she falls hopelessly in love. You realize, much to your chagrin at this point, that you are damn near halfway through the book, and this is the first indication of so much as a crush.
I'm gonna find this author and I'm gonna stab him in the ass.
She relentlessly tries to win the affections of this soldier, but on several occasions questions if he is even capable of emotion. The army pushes back their enemies, and she continues to try to get his attention to no avail. Finally, when a dragon attacks the city, she is nearly killed. The soldier rescues her and expresses concern for her well-being. Then follows a series of close together, poorly described sex scenes, interjected with descriptions of how he becomes more and more like a normal person. When the country is finally at peace, the soldier warns her that she should run away because the king has gone against some sort of agreement, and if he did not come to his senses soon, the entire city would be put under a terrible curse. One day, the majority of the soldiers headed to the castle, but he disobeyed and helped her flee the city. And this is where the story seems to be like very rushed and has very little detail. It seems like she was just trying to give it an ending and had run out of material. But he helps her flee the city as a wave of magic rushes over it, like a wave turning people into stone. The city sank beneath the ground. He got her just outside the limit of this curse, but he was caught in its effect and turned to stone himself. There is an awkward scene where she makes love to his petrified stone form in an entrance in the entrance to a cave that led to the remains of the city. The entire last passages from the point of the curse seemed to be very rushed and lacked details, as if the author didn't really know where to go from there, as if she had run out of material to work from, and was trying to give
She
it
didn't have any material to work with in the beginning. Jeez.
But this is the conclusion of a very disappointing smut novel.
Earn.
Petrificus totalis.
So, that is the book you end up reading after you're finished with the potions. And you are very disappointed in it, but again, the story was intriguing. This strange army and the curse and all of that. But, Zuko, what are you doing with your 4 days?
I'm gonna work on my fletching.
Okay.
It almost sounded like me reading a fan fiction. Just saying. Those are the kind of stories that are rushed and crappy. Okay, some of them are.
Like 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes! Don't even get me started on that worthless piece of crap.
Alright, so we'll just do the 4 days. That's all you want to do the entire 4 days?
He wants to fletch, yes.
I think maybe one day I'll mention to Malcolm that I have this idea of, making some form of bike or horseless carriage, if you will, with the material that helps the ship stay in the air.
That sounds
so you bring up some what you talked about earlier. And are you reading the book that you picked up from the cartel ship at any point, or are you saving that for later?
Still talking to me?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
You picked up a book on a collection of ancient myths.
Yeah, I'll look at that.
Okay. All right. So we'll do. All right, we'll do the 4 days of fletching. We'll just do 4 dexterity checks.
Okay. $12.
Okay.
What was that?
8.
There you go. He said 8.
Okay.
20.
Nice.
Okay.
And 12.
So let's see, 64 plus 6, 1. You are now at 723 hours of fletching. And we'll get the book out of the way real quick here. Alright, so again, it is a collection of ancient myths of curiosity, mostly blurbs, a few pages on each subject. It covers Baba Yaga, mentions that one's actually pretty accurate, mentions a lot of stuff you know to be true about her, stuff that was also mentioned in the grandmother book. Klizmir the Undying, again, a lot of information that you already knew. It's also missing a lot of stuff that you happen to know about him. Specifically, no mention of his connection with the Champions of the Fira. Because again, that
So they just knew him as a Leviathan. That's it.
A Leviathan king, a vicious tyrant who seemed to live forever.
Okay.
The ones I imagine were most interesting to you. Well, first of all, the merfolk of Creomond. It details brief mentions in historical documents to sea elves. They lived in the water and occasionally walked on land. Evidence suggested that they once had diplomatic relationships with settlements near their homes. But over the past few thousand years, very few documented interactions have occurred. The book mentions possible merfolk settlements in the tropical regions, including around the coast of modern-day Rumlin.
Holy crapper.
But this is mostly in theory. They are confident that they existed because they're mentioned in bits and pieces of old historical documents. But again, they seem to have mostly cut off communication with the world at large, if they do still exist at all. The other...
It still makes me... sorry.
Go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Okay. The other interesting story that's all new information to you is about the Stone Army. The book makes mentions of several ballads and eerily similar mentions in multiple works of fiction to an ancient king who loved his people but was unable to defend them from invading armies. The legend goes that a fey creature gave him an army of stone soldiers and a magic crown by which to control them. Most accounts of this ancient myth say that the prosperity granted by the new defenses were short-lived and the nation fell to ruin anyway. But accounts vary on why. Some say the king became hungry for power and tyrannical, and that caused the collapse of the kingdom. Some say that when the outside threats were gone, it turned out that he wasn't capable of wisely running a kingdom anyway, and it simply, fell apart. Other stories suggest the power of the Stone Army scared his own people so much that they abandoned him. It is difficult to tell which of these scenarios is most likely, as no respectable records of such a kingdom exist, outside of these appearances in popular fiction and various ballads that have been passed down for a long, long time. One factor... the apparent location of the kingdom varies wildly from story to story as well. One factor that is consistent within all the accounts suggests it existed before Creomond and Sacramon became two separate lands. And mentions of dragons attacking from the east, being one of the many threats to the kingdom, suggests that it would have been somewhere near the divide between the two. So somewhere on either the eastern coast of Creomond or the western coast of Sacramon.
Interesting.
And that is what you absorb from that.
For all we know, the city is actually a real ruin now.
All right, so Ryan, that
Yep.
my brain forgot the word. It only takes an hour for you to attune. So anything else you want to do with those 4 days?
Well, once Zuko mentions this bike idea he has, or vehicle idea, I draw out a plan for it, and maybe think of some other applications for it as well, perhaps like a wagon or something.
Okay.
There you go.
So go ahead and roll a Tinker Tools check on the first set of plans.
That is proficiency plus dex.
Yep.
Oh, my proficiency is 4 now. That's why I'm like, it's throwing me off. 13 for the first one.
Okay.
20 for the second. How many do I roll?
I'll say a total of 4. 1 for each day.
14 for the third. And 24 for the fourth.
Okay. So go ahead and make a note for yourself. Hover bike. We'll call it 4 out of 8 on planning stage.
Okay.
Cool.
Nice.
I'm sure if I pick up an Eberron campaign book, I can find stats on a hover bike. But yeah, you're well on your way to getting through the planning stage of that. Then it'll just be materials and construction time. Oh wow! So Serenity, actually, if you made it the floating carriage, reminds me of I can't remember what they called it in Firefly. That like convertible.
Yeah, like the little.
Speeder
I know
thing.
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
They don't get tired like horses.
That's true.
I'm not sure if the arcane crystals need to be recharged or anything, or if they wear out over time. But
They do need to be charged, but so rarely it's. I mean, we haven't even really had to bring it up.
I mean, that could be a world changer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And how many of those did you pick up from the robots at Lorimer's place? Somebody has those.
I can't remember.
I don't remember. I don't think I have those. I hope it wasn't a Lark that had those. It's probably
boy.
Jake.
I think I have them.
All right. Well, make sure you look over your inventory at some point.
I'm working on it
figure out who has
right
those.
now.
All right. So
Because I'm assuming the larger the craft, the larger the crystals would have to be as well, and
Right.
the more complicated mechanism you would have to control it.
that is pretty accurate. Yep. I feel like a hover bike, though, would probably only need 2 medium-sized crystals. Yeah.
Probably, but if I design something like a faster land travel kind of craft, you gotta think airships take a while to go from one place to another still.
Mm-hmm.
But if we can use a smaller craft that can still carry a bit, but move faster, could revolutionize land travel.
Well, and even, I mean, your airship travels at 10 miles per hour. It's one of the fastest modes of transportation around. So yeah, even if you could get close to that in a carriage kind of situation, or a wagon kind of situation, that would be pretty advantageous. All right, so
All right, I finally found it. I have 2 of those crystals.
get your hands on 2 more, you could probably make the start working on the craft. But for the bike, the 2 might be enough. I'll do some digging and figure out what that'll take you. But so with the time adjustment and the travel time, right about dawn on the 57th, Malcolm, you hear Duskchin's voice come over the pipe. and asks if you want to come up to the bridge for the approach.
I would say yes.
Okay. All right. So as you come up to the bridge, you see the sun coming up over the horizon, cutting through the haze of this humid environment, and below, as Serenity circles around the side to approach where the docks currently are, you get a familiar sight of your home town of Lorum Sor. For a capital, it appears to be a very small city, spread out across a cliff that runs from north to south, overlooking miles of haciendas. The expanse beyond is a colorful patchwork of various citrus plants, sugarcane, tomatoes, peppers, and watermelons. From this height, Malcolm, you believe you can make out the manor on the hacienda that you grew up on. A river runs from west beyond the Imperial Palace to the east through the city and over the cliff. On the northern side of the city, the remains of a long-flooded district serves as the docks for airships. The sturdiest remaining buildings were partially renovated to accommodate the docking of airships, and wide wooden piers straddle the now submerged roads beneath. Dustchin brings the ship around and finds an empty building that can accommodate Serenity's particular size and shape, and drops the gangplank onto the wooden pier. Guys ready to depart?
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the gangplank is dropped onto the wooden piers, and you begin to walk down. Several small lizards skitter across the surface of the gangplank in front of your feet.
Yeah.
And as you approach the dock... Sorry, that's okay, this is on top of a building. So, the gangplank is dropped onto the roof of an old building. And as you get ready to go down the stairs onto the pier itself, you see about 8 soldiers walking down the pier. Leading the pack is an orc and a Castilian human male. Duskjin comes
That'll be
down
fun.
with you to figure out what the long-term situation here is. Do you approach the soldiers?
They have not seen me yet, correct?
I'd say, right. I mean, they've seen the ship land. They have not necessarily seen you yet.
Put on the mask, dude.
Oh, it's already attuned to me. So I'm gonna put on the mask and take the appearance of Gavin.
Okay, interesting choice.
I was not expecting that.
All right, so as you guys reach the dock, the mass of the soldiers stays put, and the 2 leading the pack step forward. The Castilian male... Sorry, they're all male. What am I talking about? I don't really need to designate that. The Castilian human, I should say, comes up to you and says, "First time in Lorum Sor?"
By airship, yes. I haven't been here, I have been here some time ago.
Takes a look up at the ship. "What's your business?"
We have some trade to do in the neighboring areas of the town. Our airship is going to be looking for work. That's pretty much it.
Any cargo on board now?
Just our general foodstuffs that we keep on the ship.
Like this would be a handy vessel for smuggling. Might have to have my men take a look around.
Mm.
I very discreetly take a pouch with 50 gold pieces in it and walk up to him and just gently place my hand on his shoulder and just say, I don't think they'd be very interested in this ship.
He takes a look inside the pouch, gives you a smile. Welcome back. He directs the rest of the soldiers to start marching back and looks over his shoulder, looks at the bag again and says, there's been a rash of thefts in the city lately, so keep a hand on your coin purses, yeah?
I will indeed. Thank you.
You enjoy your stay. And the two of them march on. Good choice,
I've
50
never
gold
done
pieces.
this in my life. I've never done this in my life. I freaking just gritted my teeth. I'm not a tooth grinder, I swear. It's just
I wanted it to be enough to be notable,
Yeah,
so he would just walk away.
yeah, a soldier's daily pay is probably somewhere around 5 gold pieces, so
Jesus.
10 times that, that's gonna make him happy. So now your business is your own.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
So,
I was expecting that to go the other way.
oh,
Yeah.
you're expecting a fight?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why, well, since Malcolm decided to dig into it, I decided to remind him of how things run around Rumlin, especially in places like Lorum Sor. So he knew he had that option of easily diffusing a situation like that.
I
Yeah,
mean,
'cause knowing me, I would have
I'm all
pulled
about
out my
fighting,
sword.
but I don't want to fight the entire city of guards.
Kind of like if you killed a chicken in Skyrim.
Yeah,
Yes.
pretty much like
Or Zelda, for that matter. You hit one too many times in Zelda, they all come after you.
that. Yep.
Oh my god.
Really? Because I killed a chicken in Skyrim, the whole freaking village, like, fucking came after my ass. And I was like, oh shit! Matthew, you remember the first time I did that?
That was their source of eggs, bruh.
Me. I'm gonna kill the chicken. Matt, don't kill the chicken. I'm gonna kill the chicken.
Alright, so, ship is cleared to be there for the time being. There's no real, again, the infrastructure is not built up here. Dustchin informs you that bribe is pretty much the equivalent of dock fees. But he asks, do you want me to stick around? Do you want me to do a holding pattern? What would you like me to...
How long were we thinking it was going to take for us to actually get to this swamp?
Yeah, good question.
It's safe to assume you're going to be gone for at least about a week.
Okay.
Jesus.
So I'd tell him that if he can find something to occupy him for a week to a week and a half.
Aye, Captain. I assume I'm authorized to pay the necessary bribe when we return.
Yes, you can pay the docking fee whenever you get back.
All right, Captain.
I could see why you left this place.
Well, I didn't have much of a choice. Any chance to get out of Lorum Sor is good enough for me. Good luck, and you know how to get a hold of me if you need anything.
If you manage to transport any rum, keep me a bottle, will you?
I can.
Is Jack coming with us, Malcolm, or is he staying on the ship? Because I'm gonna leave Wolfric here.
You're
He'd be a
leaving.
little safer.
Are you sure? Now that you've got the Beastmaster.
Okay, I guess he could come with us. It's just I'm a little concerned for his safety.
Who do you think is gonna fuck with a giant ass wolf?
An idiot.
Although, of course, you can also stash him in the building that's acting as a dock, and while you're in town, if you don't want to draw attention to yourself. But I assume you'd probably want to bring him with you. When you guys actually go into the swamp, since he's essentially a weapon now.
Yeah, that is true. You are right. You are right.
And he could be useful in tracking and stuff too.
Yep.
Yes. I'll be right back. I have to go use the bathroom real quick.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I would like to keep Jack with me, but it's probably daylight out, and it probably would not be great if he did.
Well, you
I
have.
don't think
Remember,
we
you
got
had
him
that
a
custom
little cloak
coat.
yet, did we?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did have a custom coat made for him.
Yep. So you can
Then
hide
maybe
what
he'll be okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, as you, I assume you guys start walking up the dock.
Yes.
All right.
And I'm going to tell Jack that he can feel free to steal some coin purses while we're around town.
All right. So, you guys get. All right. So, we walk up the docks and into the city proper. Towards the cliff. And the main thoroughfare. And Malcolm, you are surprised to find that the city really does not feel like it has changed very much in the about 10 years that you have been gone. And then you realize that seems about right because things move slower in Rumlin. Very little is invested in infrastructure or improvements. Money does not move around very much amongst the wealthiest people in this country, so you don't find it horribly surprising that it looks exactly like you remember it. As you come up the main thoroughfare, it opens up over the side of the cliff, and you can see the river pouring down into the land is below and running out towards the ocean. And again, you see this colorful patchwork of oranges and reds, all of the various crops that grow out here, dotted with large manors in the center of each of these haciendas. And again, it feels a little odd to you to be to have this sight in front of you again, something that you were very familiar with growing up when you came into the city to swindle people. So the sun is coming up over the horizon, and already let's see. The temperature is 77.9. Very little wind, clear sky, but very, very soupy.
I'm right here. Right here.
And the direct sunlight, with nothing really to break it up, makes it feel even hotter than it actually is. So, anything you would like to do? Oh, you wanted to... Okay, so let's try out Jack. I need you to use Jack's stat block, and I need a stealth check and a sleight of hand check.
Wait, what are you doing?
I'm gonna have Jack do what he was meant to do.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I was muted, so goodness gracious. Let me go back to my roll history, because I know I can get to my roll history. Maybe I can't. Oh, well, I guess I just re-roll it, because I don't know what I freaking roll. I said that while I was muted. The first one's going to be an 18.
Okay. He
With
successfully
a stealth.
sneaks up on his first mark.
Uh, 22.
22. All right. He manages to sneak up on a somewhat well-to-do citizen walking through the thoroughfare, hops up on a crate next to him and manages to delicately snag something off of the man's belt. And he comes back to you and climbs up on your shoulder with a small coin purse. Inside, containing 545 silver pieces.
Yeah.
Nice.
Question.
Yes.
Were you saying that like the sun was beating down and everything?
Yep.
I hope we're in the shade, right?
No, you are out.
He's got a little cloak. He should be okay.
Yeah. Malcolm ordered a custom-made outfit to hide his true form. Yeah, basically shade him from the sun when he's out in it.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that session. It was the seamstresses were really taken by Jack.
They really liked him.
So 545 silver pieces. That's 54 gold pieces and 5 silver, right?
Sounds right. Yep.
Sounds about right to me.
So I got my bribe back. Booyah!
So, you are back in your home city. It is still pretty early it's just after dawn. The city is coming to life. Market stalls are opening. You catch glimpses out in the distance over the side of the cliff of workers in the groves, beginning to harvest. Where would you like to go first?
I'd like to look around the market and see if there is maybe somebody that looks personable enough that they might be into chatting a little bit, or perhaps somebody that looks like they sell news of some sort.
So you're looking for someone who has their ear to the street and is willing to chat?
Right. So maybe even a tavern or something that's nearby, that they're might be able to find somebody that is informed with the operations of the city.
Okay, so you mentioned tavern. There's one you specifically remember if you want to go that route. El Lagarto Manchado. A tavern, it's a bit of a skeevy place, but it's one of the largest taverns in town. Both locals and travelers frequent it. Whoever the bartender happens to be probably has a good idea of what's going on around the area.
Okay.
That's where you want to go?
Yeah.
All right. So you make your way down the thoroughfare. It's about dead center, right near the road that leads down off of the cliff. It is smaller on the first floor than the top floor. and can step through the front door if you like. Are you two going with him?
Yeah, I'll
Sure.
change my hair black so it doesn't really call that much attention.
Okay, is that the only thing you're doing to hide your what you are?
I could wear a hood.
Trying to hide your eyes as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't have any other things to hide my appearance unless you would remember something I don't.
No, you're on the right path. What about your medallion?
I'll just tuck it in my armor.
Okay. Roll a performance check.
Okay. It's 20 total.
Nice. Okay, and very smart. This would have gone a little differently if you had just walked in looking like a huntsman. All right. So you guys enter the still fairly dark interior of the first floor of this tavern. There are several round tables spread throughout the room. In the back left-hand corner is a bar and a fireplace. A Castilian human male is standing behind the bar, and there are several women, both humans and half-orcs from the look of it, serving people. You walk up to the bar, Malcolm.
Yes, I will walk up to the bar.
Bartender looks at you. Not particularly friendly looking, but he says, "What do you have?"
Some whiskey, middle shelf.
All right, that'll be 2 silver.
I put 5 silver down and slide it over.
Down payment on your next drinks, or something else you're looking for, friend?
Some news more than anything. It's been a few years since I've been here, and just want to get a feeling for the pulse of the city since I've just returned.
He takes the excess silver and slides it into his pocket. All right, well, we've had a lot of thefts over the past month or so. Not always valuable, but mostly shiny metals. Some precious, some not. Usually occurs during the night. Some has been even taken off of travelers coming through town. We've even had a few hit here at the tavern, but that's the biggest thing going on right now is the thefts. Legion has no idea what's going on. Nothing, no evidence that points to any typical bandit activity. Emperor's in good health. Harvest is going well. Honestly, a fairly quiet time.
So is the Emperor the Roman Davalos?
No, he is he
Or is he the leader of
is
the city? The Daimo?
Daimo. He's basically a lord.
Okay, so he's like a lord of the city itself, or just a lord in the town.
A lord in the surrounding area of the city.
Okay.
So the next person above him would be the where the settlements. Sword. The next person above him would be the Shogun, Yasumi Montenegro, who basically would be the Lord Mayor. And the Imperial Palace is right down the road, though, so he's kind of low-powered for a typical shogun. The ruler of Rumlin is Shogun Emperor Geraldo Takeshi.
Okay. I guess I'd ask if Daimo Roman Davalos is still in good health.
Absolutely. In fact, in the 13 years since his father passed, he's made great strides for the family. Expanded his territory by a significant amount. He's now involved in just about every crop that grows around here.
What do you think? What do you think helped him expand? Like, was there anything specific he did differently than his father?
Well, you know how things go around here. Short of the civil wars that creep up every few decades, the daimos gesture and make aggressive posturing to get rival daimos to relent some of their property. He also took advantage of a few families who ended without heirs that ran adjacent to his own territory. And I think it probably helps that he is in very good with the Shogun Emperor.
Okay.
Yeah. Not many people know this, but the Davalos family, unlike many of the Daimos families, are spread out across Rumlin. So, being friends with the Davalos family gives the Emperor footholds in more territories than just the immediate vicinity.
Okay. Last I was here, I knew there was he had a inventor working for him, so I wasn't sure if maybe they came up with some big discovery.
You're referring to Amos Boone.
Oh, yes, I think that rings a bell.
Well, no, he didn't have any part in expanding Roman's influence anyway. At least not that I know of. He's not getting credit for anything, that's for sure. As far as I know, he's got Amos working in the fields now. Ever since his son went and made himself an enemy of the state.
Yeah, I heard about that. Crazy business happened. I think I actually left shortly before all of that happened, but I still had some contacts in the city at that point.
Very strange ongoings, but then again, ever since the Temple of the Black Star got involved in the politics here, a lot of things haven't made sense. They're long gone, but...
Okay, that was gonna be my next question, was if they were they were still involved because they've all but disappeared in some of the other cities we've been to.
Yes, there was an incident in town. Some strange attack from inside the temple. Legion razed the entire building. And, well, they're no longer part of the state. But unfortunately, that doesn't clear Amos's son if he's still alive. The Legion is prideful. In fact, they weren't able to get their hands on him. Doesn't look very good for them or for the Emperor, honestly. Not sure what he did that got him in so much trouble, but the Emperor would still very much like to see him.
Well,
Parts of it.
Oh dear.
probably just the head, I'd say, the way from the stories I've heard.
Yes. I imagine if he has the cojones to show his face in Rumlin again, the next place it will be on the Emperor's wall. Along with his cojones, for that matter.
Well, let's hope he has the brains and foresight not to do that. I think I'll take another drink before I move along, but I appreciate the conversation and the information you provided. I put down a full gold piece onto the bar and slide it over to him.
In that case, he reaches up for the top shelf, pours you another glass of whiskey, give you that one at a discount, and thank you.
And I'm not sure if you guys wanted to drink anything or ask any questions or do anything here, but I think Malcolm is ready to leave and change his face upon leaving.
Alright. What are you changing it to this time?
Can I just go like general nondescript? Like, do I actually have to change it to somebody I know, or?
Yeah, it helps. Or give me a description of, like, hair color, length, race.
Actually, I'm gonna make it look like the farmer with the werewolf, the brother.
Okay, fair enough.
Come on,
Alright.
be a good doggy.
So, as you exit the door, you change your face again. You guys are out on the main thoroughfare.
I'm vaguely familiar with the lands and the holdings of the Daimo, correct?
Yeah.
So
Now,
I would have
and
a
you don't
fair
know-
approximation.
Yeah, you don't know necessarily where he expanded, but you, of course, his main home would still be in the same spot it was. So it should be fairly easy for you to find your way to, the central manor.
Yeah, because I want to try to find Amos in the fields.
Okay. Alright, so you want to make your way down?
Yeah.
Alright, so following your memory as best as you can takes you about, it's about an hour walk, because mostly getting down the switchback path to get off of the cliff takes up a lot of it, but you make your way out in the direction of the hacienda where you grew up. And you find yourself approaching the main road that runs in front of the manor house. The grounds immediately surrounding the manor are encircled by a shoulder-height wall made of pale clay-like material, like the house itself, and also like the house itself, topped with red-orange clay bricks. And the manor, of course, has barrel tile roof. Hope I'm pronouncing this right. Saltillo tiles begin at the gate archway, creating a path to the front door of the house. And as you remember, continues into all parts of the home beyond. The open archway is attended by 4 men, 2 human, 2 half-orcs. They are all dressed fairly plainly, with no true armor, and they seem somewhat relaxed in their presence, but they are all bearing 2 short swords apiece. Now, I'm assuming you're keeping your distance for the moment. I don't know how you want to do this. So at this point, they haven't really taken any notice of you.
Do I have a fairly good view of the fields that Amos might be working from here, or?
I mean, you have a pretty decent view of the land that was under his control when you lived here. You are not certain if you're able to see all of the property he owns, but you can take a shot at looking for him.
Yeah, let me break out the spyglass and take a look. I mean, if I would even recognize him after 10 years.
Right.
Yeah. Who knows what the years have done to him? Especially working in the field.
All right, so you pull out the spyglass, pull out a perception check.
That is a 26 total.
Okay. You do a really good scan. And you notice the subtle markers that indicate the edge of his property, and you realize at this point that the expansion may have been somewhat of an understatement, because in your time you probably could have gotten a clear view of just about all of the groves that the Davalos family owned, but now you can't even see the far back markers, and you do not see any sign of anybody who looks like your father.
Okay. So, we probably would have to ask somebody at the manor about where he might be. But I also don't want to raise any kind of suspicions.
Right.
Do you have any thoughts on excuses you could use to want this information? Oh, by the way, I completely forgot to mention, as you went through town, you did get a glimpse of one of the wanted posters with your face on it, with your old face anyway.
Dude, I seriously want to know what old Malcolm would have looked like.
So with my knowledge of Rumlin, politics and ongoings, and at least from 10 years ago, what if I were to act as more or less a bounty hunter sent after him for a debt?
Nice.
Well, bounty hunting is very common in Rumlin, because, again, corruption is rampant. Traditional law enforcement isn't enough of an incentive to bring in the most wanted people, because the most wanted people could just pay off the guards. So there is a pretty hefty bounty on your head as is in Rumlin, because that's the only way to make the government has to outbid what the wanted person would be able to pay to incentivize either the Legion or any bounty hunter to bring them in.
I have perhaps a genius plan.
Oh way.
I'm going to walk up to the guards and let them know that I'm a bounty hunter. With my knowledge of this, do I know if bounty hunters have to have some kind of special writ or anything like that for
Nope.
Permission or anything like that from the government here? No.
Nope.
Okay.
Just have to look the part, really, to pass it off, which you kind of already do.
Which I was going to say. Which in that case, I'm going to make sure at least one of my firearms is showing on my hip when I walk up. So pull the duster back a little bit. Walk up and state that I'm a bounty hunter looking for Amos Boone because there has been a recent sighting of Malcolm, or Percival Boone, in the surrounding area, and we think he might have information for us.
All right, I need. Can you roll a perception check for me?
Yeah. 25.
25. Okay. So as you approach, as I said, they look kind of relaxed when you were at a distance, but they very expertly, once you were in range to be a potential threat, they sprung into to ready. But you get the impression that these guys are kind of private security, and they're meant to present a casual look at a distance, so it doesn't make the manor look militarized. But these guys are nobody to fuck with, and you do spot on two of them a neck tattoo with 3 slashes over a large letter T, indicating these guys are probably retired from the Tertiary Legion. So you approach them and you let them know why you're there.
When I say Percival Boone, I spit on the ground.
You gotta sell it.
So first, you mentioned that you are a bounty hunter looking for Percival Boone, which they look like they're about to laugh. But when you say there's been a spotting of him in the area, they all look very shocked. And the apparent leader of the group, can you roll a deception check for me?
Yeah.
Deception, he said?
Yeah.
Yep. That's a 20 total.
Ooh.
20 total.
Nice.
That's one of my proficiencies.
They all converse among themselves in Castilian, which you, Malcolm, know. And the conversation is basically, is this guy fucking kidding? No way that he's back in the area. We better bring this to the boss. And the apparent leader of the group, the human, Castilian human, says, come with me. The Daimo will want to hear about this. And let's see, what time of day is it? It's 8 o'clock in the morning. All right, so
probably having his coffee, for all we know.
He hold on, let me get my orientation right. So yeah, all right. So he brings you to the eastern side of the manor, onto the veranda. And you see a man that you recognize pretty well. He's just a couple years older than you. Daimo Roman Davalos. You grew up in his household. And he is sitting at a nice table with breakfast. He's wearing a white linen outfit, very loose and light kind of outfit to try to fight the heat and hopefully catch a breeze every now and then. But he looks up as the two of you approach. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, did the Zuko and Mira, did you try to follow or did you stay outside the gate?
I assume we tried to follow and they probably told us to stay outside.
You assumed correctly, so you guys didn't resist that, right?
No.
Okay. Alright, so Malcolm, you're brought back, and he sees the two of you approach. Look of confusion because he doesn't recognize you. The guard walks up to him bends down and whispers in his ear for a few moments. Roman says, "K," and they could further whispered conversation. The guard steps back, and Roman kind of gestures you forward a little bit, throws his napkin onto his plate. So, Mr. Bounty Hunter, I'm told you are looking for Percival Boone. Is that correct?
Yes, I am. I have heard that there has been some sightings of him in the area, and I came here looking for Amos Boone, thinking he may know some whereabouts of his son.
Deception check.
Uh, 17.
I did not think he would have the cojones to show his face around here again. You are correct. This is a very interesting development. And you want to speak to Amos Boone. You feel like he might have some information?
Yes. If he's back, as I have heard rumblings and rumors that he is, I thought he may come here to visit his father first.
Don't even need a deception check for that one. Now you know. I'm sure you seem to know your job, so I'm sure you've looked into this case before, and I assume you know that Amos Boone was interrogated by the Legion for over a week when his son first went on the run. So I do assure you that if Amos has any information about Percival's whereabouts, it would have come out of him. The only reason he's not dead is because my father liked the old man. And in his honor, when they realized they weren't going to get anything out of him, I had them remand him to my custody and put him in the fields. Not as respectable as his previous position, but kept him alive. But I really don't think you're going to get anything else out of him.
My thinking is that if he has been able to elude us for 10 years, how hard would it be for him to elude us and visit family before leaving town again?
I accept this possibility.
How much security do you have on these fields?
Besides the four men you met up front, you've got about 3 members of the Legion to every acre.
Okay, well, that makes sense. I would expect you to have some oversight on the fields to make sure the workers are still working, also making sure that they're not disturbed by ne'er-do-wells. And I'm guessing that all of your workers, do they stay in the manor here? Do they have I would say bunkers? I don't know what the word I would use. They have housing actually in the plantation fields?
Yes, there's barracks out there.
Barracks, there you go.
And Amos stays in one very close to where he works. He isn't able to get as far out into the fields as some of my other workers. So we keep him close. Tell you what, Mr. Bounty Hunter. I am very personally invested in this particular refugee, or that's not the word I'm looking for. Where is it? Oh well. I am impressed that you think you can succeed where the Legion failed for over 10 years, but I will grant you access to Amos, but with a condition. If you do manage to get your hands on Percival Boone, I don't want you to bring him straight to the Emperor. I want you to bring him here. I'll pay the bounty, plus, say, 10%, and I get credit for the capture. Is this agreeable to you?
It is agreeable to me. We have ourselves an accord, a deal. If for some reason Percival gets the drop on me, I do have some others I work with. Hopefully at least one of us will manage to get a hold of him, and I'll make sure to let them know too that he can be brought back to you if they manage to capture him.
I find this agreeable.
How much is the bounty on Malcolm, by the way?
Yeah, I don't even remember
It
anymore.
is now up to 20,000 gold.
Wow.
What do you
I think
guys
you're
think
worth
about
more.
what do you guys think about capturing me, bringing me back to this guy, and we shoot our way out after we
Not a
get
bad
paid?
idea, to be honest.
That's the thought on the way back. We'll think about it.
Yeah.
But for now, yes, I'll I guess once we shake
Leave it
hands
to
on
those
it,
terms.
I'll ask him where he's at to do you want somebody to lead me there, or do you want me to give me free reign to walk on your grounds?
Miguel, take him to see Amos. And the same guard that brought you back gives him a nod and directs you off of the veranda and out into the fields. And sure enough, you pass in the distance several barracks, and very near to one on some of the back acreage. Takes you a few minutes to walk out there. His land is expansive at this point. But shortly past this last barracks is an orange grove, and Miguel walks you up to one of the lines of trees, to a fairly elderly-looking man in his probably in his late 50s, but working in the fields. His posture has declined, and his skin is dark and leathery from all the sun exposure, and most of his hair has left. But this man glances over as you approach, as he hears the sounds of your footsteps, and at a glimpse of his face, you recognize him as your father. But he, not realizing that you're there for him, he goes back to his work and continues picking oranges from the tree. Miguel says, Amos, you have a visitor. And he kind of waits there a slight distance away, and you're free to approach.
I walk up to him, respectfully, and I'm hoping I'm out of earshot of the guard.
Yeah, as long as you talk low, he's not going to hear much of what's said.
As I approach, I look him in his eyes, and I say, "Mi padre, my father.
He kind of gives you a strange look and then goes back to his work. Only had one
Ouch.
son. He's long dead.
Ouch.
What is it you
is
want?
is there anybody else directly looking at me?
Roll a perception check.
That it would be a nat 20 for a total of 28.
You take a look around. No eyes seem to be upon you. The only ones that in front of you are workers. Most of them are fairly distant, and of course the guard is behind you. Probably got his eyes
How
on your
far
back.
behind?
but
I'm going to
50 yards.
briefly drop the enchantment from the Mask of Many Faces.
Okay.
And I'm going to again say, Amos, Father.
He glances up again, somewhat frustrated. But when he sees the enchantment dropped, he kind of freezes in place with one of the oranges in hand, his basket in the other, and he stares at you, and then he notices a sensation on his hand. You see a small scorpion on the orange, and he kind of flicks it away and drops the orange, and then looks up at you in astonishment, looks over your shoulder. Percival. He looks over your shoulder again. Can't be.
I put the enchantment back up.
Okay.
And I tell him, it is me, Father. What have they done to you?
He tries to go. He goes back to his work, trying not to make his current emotional state obvious to anybody in the surrounding area. And he speaks slowly. Whenever the Texero Legion realized that you had evaded them, they brought me to the Imperial Palace to be interrogated. They were sure I had to have some knowledge of where you would have gone. I'm ashamed to say I did direct them to your compatriot, your mentor, that archaeologist friend of yours, Dantel. They already had him in custody. They took them a very long time to believe that I did not know what happened to you. Roman encouraged them to release me to him, but I could no longer hold the status that I did before, given yours. It's one thing if it was some minor crime, but you were considered an enemy of the state, a threat to the Empire.
I can't explain everything that has happened in this short time we have together, Father. But just know that there's a lot in this world that has been set in motion that swept me along with it for a time. And I did not wish this upon you at all. And if I can, I'd like to make things right with you. Is there some way that you can get off of the Manor estate at all? Do you have time to go into the town at all?
Do not imagine they would let me leave. But if your intention is to break me out of here, The best way to do that, suppose, would be to come at night and try to retrieve me from the bunkhouse. I can't say that you'd be able to do it without a fight, but it's the only time that we're not surrounded by guards.
This is your bunkhouse here?
Yeah, he kind of nods in the direction of the one that you passed just before reaching him. Yes, that's where they keep me. I'm sorry that I assumed you had passed after 10 years. No sign of you. I assumed something horrible had happened. I suppose you just miraculously made it out of the country and were smart enough not to return.
That is more or less what happened. But like I said, things are in place, and things have been going on in the world. Where I was just a pawn for a while. But we're fighting to claim our own destiny now. And I want you to be part of it, Father. I reach into my pocket of my duster, and I rip off a piece of the scroll of message, and give it and very deftly hand it to him. Maybe put it in his basket underneath some oranges.
Slide a hand check.
Not as good as I've been rolling. 16.
Okay. You feel like you managed to get it in there without drawing any attention. He bends down to pick up the orange that he dropped when the scorpion crawled on it and looks at it. Guess we all get swept up in things that are out of our control every once in a while.
I explained what that scroll let him do to me, or will let him message me later on this evening, so we can talk more by written word. But explained to him and whispered to him that I need him to get angry with me right now and put on a show. That he doesn't know where Percival is, and to stop bothering him. 10 years, make him sell it, Father.
Okay. He looks forlorn about this request, but takes a moment to build up and gives you a good shove. I've had enough of this. My son is dead. I don't know anything about what happened to him after all of that mess. Just let me die in peace. I don't know anything. Haven't I suffered enough? Let's see how his performance comes off. Yeah, it's pretty good.
So,
the guard does step forward and kind of separates the two of you. Doesn't even look at you, looks directly at your father and says, "Don't forget your place."
I secretly, in my head, hope Miguel is guarding the barrack whenever I come back. If not, I might go out of my way to kill him.
That is such a Malcolm way to do it, too.
And you try to take any steps to encourage that result?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Just, are you just going to hope that, or are you going to do something to try to make that happen?
Why, make him guard him?
Hmm.
I mean, I guess I could kind of like vaguely threaten him, hoping that they put a guard on his bunker.
Hmm.
And hopefully it's him. I guess.
Is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna threaten him, or threaten Amos?
Yeah. Is the guard looking? Is the guard actually looking at me, or
Looking at him.
is he like more looking at Amos right now? Right this second.
I mean, he took a moment to try to correct Amos because essentially, you even as an outsider and a bounty hunter, you are socially speaking
Higher rank than
class
him?
above him. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if he's not looking at me, I'm gonna give Amos a quick wink, and I'm just gonna say, everybody told me coming out here was a waste of time. I tried thinking that maybe you would be of some use for the search for Percival, but I should have just listened to everybody else's better advice. Make sure you sleep with one eye open, old man.
Miguel kind of looks back at you and kind of gives you like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Look, I understand he pissed you off, but even in his lowly position, he is protected by Roman. Don't come around causing any undue trouble. You'll get your revenge on him when you bring Percival to us and he gets to see his son carted off to the Imperial Palace to be executed.
I just stare Miguel down, and I'll get my revenge whenever I feel like it. I walk
Jesus.
away.
Alright. Roll
That's interesting.
an intimidation check.
Don't fail me now. 19 plus 2, 21.
Nice.
You get the impression that he kind of believes you. So you walk away, back towards the front of the property.
Yep.
Alright. So, Malcolm has located his father, understands his current situation. Are you planning on rescuing him before or after getting the weapon?
I'm thinking after. I don't know that we would be able to cart him around with us.
Right. And you'd
Through the
basically
ruins and
creating a
everything,
new
and-
fugitive situation, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not like, and we already told Dustchin to take off. Because that was my
There's nowhere
original.
he could stay.
My original thought was that he could have just went into town on a shopping trip. Dustchin could have met him and just taken him on the airship, but
That would have been a pretty good idea.
even smuggled him on the airship. But I have a more lucrative plan forming in my head.
The Malcolm way, I swear.
This makes me happy.
Wait, do you want 22,000 gold pieces?
Yes.
Alright, so
I'm sure Matt already planned if I was going to think of something like that.
I had a feeling you were going
Yes,
to try to
I'm sure
smuggle
he
him
did.
out. Yeah.
Did you have did you have an idea that I was going to turn myself in, get paid, and then just slaughter everybody in the manor?
That part had not occurred to me, but fair play.
Like I said, this is definitely the Malcolm way. That's why I'm not saying it in a disapproving way because I already know how you are. So it's like okay, let's do this shit. Let's kick some ass.
Alright, so, Zuko and Mira, Malcolm comes back out to you in front of the property. You let them know everything that happened.
Yep. I think Jake's ears perk up, or Zuko's ears perk up when he hears 20,000 gold pieces.
They do.
In his
Is
head, he's
anybody
like,
picturing that? Cha-ching!
Zuko's almost turned me in already. Zuko's like, do I get 20,000 now, or do I make more money over the course of my life staying on as part of the crew? Cash option or annuity? That's what he's thinking right now.
Alright, so you guys heading back into the city?
Yeah. Woo. Sorry.
Yeah, we probably want to make sure we have plenty of supplies for the trip out.
Alright, anything in particular you want to grab?
Well, I don't think any of our horses eat, do they?
Right.
No, I think since
think
they're
so.
magical, they don't really need to eat.
I think our tent's in a bag with us. One of the horses.
I mean, like,
probably.
mine's made out of freaking blood. Like, yeah, how's that thing gonna eat?
All we really need is rations in our tent, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Alright, so if you guys want rations specific... Let's see. Where's the item list here? Oh, what am I doing? I've got it on my... Alright, day of rations is 5 silver pieces. So mark off however many you want to buy and make sure those are added to your inventory. Anything else? General goods that you feel like you're gonna need?
I can't think of anything. I have a shit ton of bullets right now.
I'm good on arrows.
Holy crap, I think... Wait, what's the quantity? Hold on. I have 36 thingies of ration on me.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know
so
I
you
have
don't
enough
need any.
rations.
I'm covered.
You probably ate some. You just haven't marked them off.
I think I was marking them off on the binder.
But not since you've changed to
Yeah, I think.
Dim Beyond.
Yeah, I made sure
Right.
I rectified all that when I switched you over to D&D Beyond. You guys haven't actually been like out in the wild having to eat off your own supplies in quite a while. All right. So if you guys are all set, you guys want to head. There we go. You guys want to head into the swamp?
Yep. Towards the city of
That'll be
Erismore.
fun.
Well, maybe before we go, we can see if there's like a local. I don't know if there's an Alhigh's over here or not, but someplace similar to that, and maybe we find something that's water breathing.
That's breathing?
Water breathing.
Oh, okay.
If,
Because like
if
you
they
cut
have
off.
something.
Roll an investigation check. Zuko.
He thinks Zuko's nervous about going
I
underwater.
think he's nervous.
23.
I'm shitting bricks.
23. You thoroughly searched around that town. You see no signs of a magic shop. You do. There are alchemical ingredients spread, throughout various different market stalls. There it is possible to get more gillyweed and hagfinger. However, a potion of water breathing takes 3 workdays of time.
Oh.
So it'd be kind of hard to do that on the go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just figured I would look.
Yep, always worth a look.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, so you guys ready to go?
I would
I'd say so.
say yes.
Yep.
Alright, so you guys find your way around the flooded district at the north end of the city. Since that is literally, I mean, we're talking like 6 feet of water in that area. But you find a relatively dry path around out into the wilderness. Zuko, are you leading this? Since
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, because
alright.
you're the ranger.
Yep.
So, using the maps that you have and traversing partway into the wilderness, after about a mile or so, you've gotten away from any signs of civilization. And it
I
is
summon my undead Swordacorn.
Okay. All of you riding your horses?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that does help. That does make it easier for you guys to slosh through the wetter parts. But after about a mile or so into to the first day of travel, Zuko, you realize that there are 2 potential ways that you could to make this journey. You could hug slightly further to the west, which would take a little bit longer, not a lot, just a little bit longer. But you are more likely to stay above the worst of the flooding. And you'd have to traverse some rocks and stuff like that, but at least it'd be a little bit drier. Or you could take the quicker path and deal with more swampland.
So I bring I bring up the 2 options to the group, and I recommend that in what type of conditions do these Hydra like to mate? Since I know
secluded, damp tunnels.
Okay.
Caves or
And then those
dark ruins, anything like that, as long as it has water in it.
Okay, so then I would recommend that we go the little bit longer route to try to avoid some potential threats.
That sounds perfect.
I also bring up the alligators that are big enough to swallow a grown man. What route would we be more likely to meet up with those creatures?
That would also, of course, be swampland. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
guys are no
want-
fun.
We don't want to die. We love you, but we don't want to die.
You can go that way.
I guess we'll go the longer way.
Malcolm probably wants to make a pair of crocodile boots.
No, he wants to kill a crocodile to be able to eat some crocodile.
This is a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, longer way it'll be.
All right. So,
I'm sure Malcolm's actually like grumbling the entire way. He's like,
all right. So the regulators decide to stick to high ground, taking the rockier highland path to the west. And
Are there
go
some
to-
are there like large cattails or anything like that growing in the swamp?
Of course.
I'm gonna petulantly pull out my dagger and just like slice off the tops of cattails and stuff as we're.
Just randomly.
Yeah.
what's cattails?
The things
They
that
look
stick
like
out of
corn dog.
Yeah. They stick out of
Oh.
swamps and ponds.
See, I always wondered what those were when I was a kid, and I never heard the name.
Oh, you should have tried to eat one when you were little.
No, I was never near one, so.
Then once like they fully like are ready to blossom or whatever, they just like shoot out wide seeds everywhere.
Wow.
Yup.
Big fluffy white seeds.
All right, so you take the west path to higher ground on your journey to Easmore, and prepare for several days of climbing and descending rocks, but keeping yourselves as dry as possible. And as you head deeper into the jungle and further away from civilization, you look forward to the end of a long journey where you will have the second weapon needed to get rid of Orcus. And that is where we will end our session. When we come back in 2 weeks, we will begin the long journey into the untamed wilderness of Rumlin, and find what is in store and what their decision to take the high ground route will result in, both good and bad. Thank you everyone who came by to watch, and everybody watching on VOD. We always appreciate that. We hope you enjoyed this session. I think this was a lot of fun. Congratulations to Pits and Skits on winning the t-shirt. Like I said, I think another month we'll probably do another giveaway as we continue to get closer to affiliate status here. We will be winding down some of the other platforms and be doing more stuff like that. So, thank you everybody who stopped by. Hope you enjoyed the show, and have a good night.